Alex, let's take a call or two. Andrew is in Canberra. Andrew, welcome along.
Yeah, hi there, Neil. My question just is about, I've got a financial advisor, but I've only had that person for about a year. And since then, I was speaking to another finance person, and they didn't know I had a financial advisor, but they sort of said, if it just so happens that, it's good to get maybe a Christian one, but I'm probably going to stay with who I've got. But what my question really relates to is, what should we be mindful of if we've got a financial advisor? For sure, they might be a person of good character, but how might we need to be mindful of thinking, I hope that my Christian worldview is sort of played out in maybe the financial advice they give me, and bearing in mind having sort of basic things like tithing and free will giving and even bequest to a Christian organisation when I depart this earth. But what should we be mindful of? Because I'm sure there's lots of Christians out there with non-Christian financial advisors.
Thanks, Andrew. It's actually a great question, and I think it's as you say quite rightly, there are a lot of people out there who are Christian getting advice from non-Christian advisors. I think the very important that you as the believer seeking advice from a non-believer is that you're very upfront about what you believe, because most advisors are good people in the sense that they're trying to do the right thing by the client and align what you're trying to achieve with how they can manage your money. And so having those sort of discussions with them and being upfront, it could be, for example, if you talk about investing, saying, you want to avoid certain types of investments, because they, breach of Christian ethics, like gambling could be a good example. So you can have those sort of very upfront conversations. But of course, it's also an opportunity to witness to the advisor. The reality is just because someone is a Christian doesn't necessarily mean they'll be a good advisor. Christian doesn't guarantee competency. And equally, you might get a fabulous non-Christian advisor who's very gifted at giving very high-quality advice, and you actually end up with very good outcomes. But I think you just need to be mindful of a biblical mindset as the client, where you sort of say to yourself, well, I'm stewarding God's money here, and so I need to honour God with my giving, with all those sort of things. And because some non-Christian advisors will say things like, if you look at your budget, you're giving away too much money and therefore you can't save as much for the future. So I think the opportunity here is you actually say, well, look, that's sort of a non-negotiable. I believe in my life. I want to live generously and I'm going to sow into things. And I'm not going to cut back on those things just in order to save and get ahead, because I believe that God's going to provide for me anyway. And so you can have, I think, those very open conversations, which I think will be a great witness, but also you've got to ultimately stick to trying to align your finances as much with God's word as you can. The only thing I'd warn people with non-Christian advisors is the temptation to take on too much debt. There's a real obsession in Australia with gearing, borrowing money to invest. And I think that can be good, but it can be very bad when you're in a high interest rate environment like what we're in now. And so I just encourage people to make sure they know God's word. So if they're getting told things by non-Christian advisors that aren't that wise, you have that, you have that sensible approach that you can push back on.
Andrew, was that helpful?
Yes, it was, Neil. Thanks very much.
Andrew in Canberra, thank you so much for your call.